Hey, what's up, you guys, and welcome to the October 2017 Patreon Hangout. How is everybody today?
Doing rather well.
Doing
Yourself?
good.
I'm good.
Good,
I'm fine.
good. So, we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming up. I know most of us are pretty deep into the nerdosphere, so we've got, of course, episode 8 happening in December, and then Thor Ragnarok comes out next month, which is all of the exciting. So I assume you guys are excited about that. Maybe you're not. I don't know.
Yep.
Surprisingly, no. Actually, I may see Thor Ragnarok. I'm not sure about Star Wars though.
What has you not wanting to see Star Wars?
I don't know. I guess it's because I moved on to something different, mainly reading.
Okay, gotcha. What about everybody else? How are you guys feeling about Star Wars coming out this December?
I don't care.
You don't care? How? Nobody cares?
I'm
Well-
fairly excited, but I'm also a bit hesitant.
Okay. What did you guys think
Yeah,
about
I feel the same way about it.
let's go around and see what everybody thought about that. Because I think that might be the source of some of the trepidation, I think. So, Sanguine, how do you feel about The Force Awakens?
It was a rehash of the original movie, and that drove me crazy because it was a rehash, and they tried to make it about too many characters at the same time.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I
For
didn't
sure.
get the same level of connection that I got when it was the first movie, where it was focusing on Luke. Luke was your guy. You paid attention to Luke, and then you started caring about him and the other characters you cared about because Luke cared about them.
Mm-hmm.
And then in The Force Awakens, it was okay, so we meet the main female lead, and then we immediately meet this person, and then we immediately meet this person, and then we immediately meet this person, and now we're going back and we're seeing Han again, and now we're doing this and doing that. And you didn't have enough time with one character to get a really strong connection with that character.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Sweeper, what did you think?
Like I said, I really didn't care. I never really was a Star Wars fan.
Well, how dare you breathe air? How
Yeah,
dare you not like something that everybody says you should like? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I watched.
Terrible person. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
obviously.
I watched 4, 5, and 6, and after that, I just really stopped caring.
Yeah, that's fair. You know, not everybody. TK, what about you? Thoughts on
Well,
Force Awakens?
I didn't really like the title. I mean, how dare they tell me I should awaken?
Is that what you found
But
most offensive, for sure?
yeah, but I did like the movie. It was the one after that that I was kind of blah about and kind of felt like I don't know who these people are, and there's way too many of them. Their story is going way too slowly.
Oh, you mean the crap? What am I?
Yeah, the one I can't remember the name
Rogue
of.
One.
Rogue One. There we go. I
There
was
we
like,
go.
had you not been talking about it, I totally could have told you what the name was, but you said it, and then I was
I
like,
didn't
my
even see
brain just shut
Rogue One.
off.
They were-
I actually with Rogue One, I like the characters that everybody hated because everybody had like an issue with like the Asian guy who could do stuff with the Force. Everybody was like, "It's stupid." I was like, I don't know. I thought he was kind of funny, but okay. So I don't know.
I'm the one left.
Right? Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Zenith. What about you?
I would have forgiven all of the crap people complained about, the derivative plot, the Rey being sort of a Mary Sue, all too many characters, all of that. If they had changed one thing about it, Kylo Ren beat Rey at the end instead of what we got.
that
I would have forgiven the entire movie
that is a good
if
point.
they had done.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too. You're right. It doesn't really make much sense as to why she won that fight.
He
I don't
was
care about the
shot by a crossbow that has exploded vehicles before. I don't think he was at 100%.
He wasn't at 100%, but if
But
you
then why
make...
do I care about the remaining movies?
Yeah.
If Kylo Ren is supposed to win even at his weakest as the main antagonist.
I think that we're going to find out in later movies that he kind of held back and is seeing a possible apprentice in her.
That would actually annoy me more.
Mm.
Why would that annoy you more?
Yeah, me too.
If he held back during that fight, the whole thing about the Star Wars villains, at least when it went back to the original trilogy, they were massive, they were intimidating, they scared the ever-living crap out of you because they seemed unstoppable. You have Darth Vader, who handedly beats the only Jedi that you knew in the series.
Yeah.
Just very easily kills Obi-Wan. No contest. And then in this one, if he was holding back like that, Vader even cut off his son's hand. And he was willing to kill him. He tried to corrupt him and bring him over to the dark side, but he was still willing to kill him.
Yeah, Darth Vader, actually, if you watch Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader was holding back because there's moments when the action slows down and Darth Vader is just merely standing there with his lightsaber in front, waiting for Luke to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Holding back.
Still that sense of, if you force my hand, I'm going to kill you. And if Kylo Ren was holding back to the point where he gets incapacitated, there's no sense of, yeah, you forced my hand. Now I'm going to kill you.
Right. No, that makes sense. But what do you guys? I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. Yeah, I can see that. What did you guys think of Kylo Ren as a villain in general? Because I know a lot of people weren't a huge fan of him either.
I liked him up until that point at the end. It would show that even as an unstable Jedi, Sith Lord who's not in control, and then still would have won against Rey, that would have established him as a intimidating opponent, even at his most, weakest.
And he could have been an amazing villain, in my opinion. But he was such a weird mix of ridiculously powerful and so easily beaten that it took it out of it for me. Because the first couple scenes of the movie where he stops a blaster bolt in midair.
That was so cool. Can we just
was
have a
amazing.
moment? Like, that was fucking cool. That was all of the cool. Sorry.
That was neat. Yeah.
That made me happy whenever I was like, oh my god, that's so cool when I first saw it. I'm sorry, I just had a moment.
And then
that was absolutely amazing. But he unmasked too quickly.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't want to see what he looked like. I was like, no, leave your thingy on. I want to know.
He could have unmasked at the very end of the movie when he was dealing with Rey. That would have been an interesting unmask.
You know what's weird? I believe we pretty much know everything we know about Kylo Ren from this first movie.
You mean everything like that we need to know?
Like, we basically know his backstory. He's Han and Leia's son, who was trained to be a Jedi, and then he betrayed Luke. And he's now under the tutelage of Andy Serkis.
Not Snoke, just Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Speaking of Snoke, what did you guys think of Snoke?
He's
It depends on it depends on what they do with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
I
a
think
lot of ways that can go.
they're either building him up for something really epic or really pathetic, play for laughs or something.
And again, he's too similar in this movie to how the Emperor was.
Mm-hmm.
If it had been more original, if they had given more time to a character to really develop that character and make you care about them, and if Kylo Ren would have kept his mask on and they would have decided, do they want to make him unbelievably powerful, like the stopping a blaster bolt said he would be, or whether they want him completely unhinged and unable to really control himself enough to be useful, like him just slashing the shit out of the room showed,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been better. But with him being this way too extreme shift back and forth, and it wasn't even played up like this is how his character is. He's this unhinged that, yes, he's amazing when he's focused, but then when he gets overwhelmed, it's this. They didn't play that up enough. So
Right.
It seemed almost like two characters. You have Kylo Ren when he's wearing his helmet and he's a badass. And you have Kylo Ren, I'm going to go back into my room and cut myself because I need attention when he's without his helmet.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Does anybody here watch Cinema Wins?
No.
I've seen them around.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Deadpool's one. That's it.
Yeah, he had an interesting theory, kind of conspiracy theory, about him actually being a deep undercover good guy, and he made a lot of very interesting points. I wasn't sure if I was sold on it, but it was interesting. It was an interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't base the movie.
Probably more interesting, and because it would give more depth that we weren't already aware of.
Yeah, but that depends. But that's, what's the word? Anchoring too much on the future movies. It should stand. Kylo Ren should stand on his own as a villain in this movie, not later movies.
And there's certain things that you could build up over time. But yeah, when it comes to
there's nothing built up to that sort of conclusion for Kylo Ren.
Exactly. There isn't enough about him that would make him go, oh yeah, this makes sense, him being that. It's, like I said, it seems like they wanted two different characters, and they decided, we're going to make both of them into the same person.
Right. Like this really powerful person and this really unhinged, like, nutbag, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Getting beat by a person who knew the Force for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what did you guys think of Rey then, on that note?
Mary sued the ever-living shit out of her.
I don't want to go that far, but it's pretty close. At first, Rey did not annoy me as much,
I thought
But
the hand-holding thing was really fucking weird.
It was built, but it sort of built up and up the sort of annoying parts about her that didn't make any sense. Oh, she doesn't get man to save her. Okay, yeah, she knows how to fly Millennium Falcon over the person who's been flying it for decades. And it built up. Oh, she all knows the Force. But then when it started to become like the tipping point for me is when she learned how to do the mind meld on a stormship trooper.
Right.
That was when I said, fuck you.
Yeah, being able to learn that without being taught, and also being able to just know how to use a lightsaber.
Yeah.
That drove me crazy because you saw what it took for Luke to even start to even think about using a lightsaber.
Right.
And she just, oh, he dropped a lightsaber? Okay, I'm going to use this and I'm just going to kick his ass now.
Yeah, it seems a little bit like you'd be like, yeah, maybe might take a little bit more than that to get there.
Mm-hmm. Or at least make her style very, very rough.
Right. Yeah, that would make sense as well. If you
Why
were
does
going to
she
go that
even
way.
training with Luke? Why does she even need training with Luke?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess from what we see, she kind of doesn't in that case. Well, you know, she kind of does, she kind of doesn't. I guess it depends on how you really look at it, but yeah, I can see what you mean there. Sweeper Steven, did you see The Force Awakens, Sweeper Steven?
No, I did not.
No?
Nope.
So what kind of movies do you like then?
Horror.
Horror?
Slasher. Yeah, slasher.
Okay. What's your favorite horror? It is Halloween, so what's your favorite horror movie?
I actually seen one of my favorite horror movies, which was Jigsaw today.
Yeah, how was that?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't like the rest of them where it played like the rest of them. They played like it was like as soon as the new one came out, it was like literally like the next day or whatever. But this one, it was like totally different. So, but I still enjoyed it.
That's good. Have the rest of you seen this? Because I own, I think, most of the Saw movies. Yeah, most of them. I own them. So, what do you guys think about the Saw movies?
I only saw
Never seen one.
4.
I've never seen a Saw movie.
Okay, TK, what were you saying? Sorry.
I said I've only seen up to 4.
Okay. Sanguine, Saw movies.
They were interesting, but I have a problem with the horror movies that confuse horror with gore. And the first one didn't do that as much, but as it went on, it became more of...
Oh, as it went on, for sure.
Yeah. Gore and jump scare. And I hate that about horror movies. Let it be creepy. Let it build.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on what
I
you
just
find
have
creepy.
way too many problems with 4 to keep going. I mean, just right off
What
the
even
bat.
happens in 4? I don't even remember.
You remember they find that tape in his stomach?
Oh, right. Yeah. And then
Evil play me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you find a tape in somebody's stomach, they've gone to all that trouble. Does it really need the play me label? Are you not going to be curious? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And is there not an easier way than swallowing it? I mean, couldn't you have just sent it by mail to the police department with the play me label?
Well,
you know?
what fun would that be, I guess? I don't know.
Exactly.
Then they
That
wouldn't
wouldn't
get
be
to
as
show a
much fun.
stomach being cut open on camera. Yeah, I guess.
Right. Well, which adds to the horror element, obviously.
Indeed.
So,
Spooky.
yeah, spooky, scary intestines or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
However the saying goes, right? Yeah. So, do you guys have a favorite horror franchise? Or are you guys big into horror movies or anything like that?
I think franchises kind of suck the horror out of it.
Yeah, I don't go with franchises.
the best horror movies tend to be standalones.
Okay, but the horror movies, then what's your favorite horror movies? Let's go with that.
I rather liked the first and second Alien movies, and then the first Nightmare on Elm Street. When you go back,
first Alien movie, which is legitimate horror. Second is not so much a horror.
Second deviated from horror, yeah.
Was the first one a horror movie? I've never seen the Alien movies.
Oh yes, it is absolutely a horror movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I like something more recent that called It Follows.
Mm-hmm.
That was genuinely creepy, I think.
Mine, I think, I know this is kind of stupid, but Event Horizon.
And which one is that? I don't think
It's a movie from like early 90s, I think. When was Event Horizon? It's with Lawrence Fishburne and the guy from Jurassic Park. What's his name?
Paxton, right? Was it Paxton?
No, I think it's Sam Neill. Was it? I believe he was in. That was him in Event Horizon, right?
I'm not sure.
Is that the one with where they say we don't need eyes where we're going?
Okay.
Is everybody Googling?
Yeah, Sam Neill. I was guy from Jurassic Park. It's as a sci-fi fan, that's sort of tickled my fancy.
Effectively, the plot was that they're on a ship that ended up jumping through or getting sucked through hell. And it was...
I guess that's what it is. That Sam Neill became.
Okay. So it's sort of like a black hole thing-ish type?
It's on a ship, so...
Yeah. It's on a ship that is designed to look like a ship that would go to hell.
That's interesting, I guess.
All the entrances were the iris openings, but they had spikes on them.
Yeah.
So you're looking at every doorway going, yeah, I could see this being the hell ship.
So it was Dead Space.
Did this predate Doom?
No, I don't think so. Let me quickly double... No, not at all. Because this was 1997 and...
Oh, 1997, really?
Yep.
That's earlier than that.
Yeah, I'm assuming you guys are a lot older than I am.
I'm
not by
a bit older than you. I'm 27.
I'm 26.
Okay, so...
I'm 34.
Not like
I'm as
Scribble.
old as time itself.
And I guess we've also got Thor coming out. What do you guys think about the Marvel movies? Because I really like the Marvel movies. And I'm all excited.
I like Marvel movies, but I'm getting bored, honestly.
You getting bored with them?
I'm getting fatigued with them.
Really? Yeah.
And it's not like the last few movies were bad. You know, Spider-Man was pretty fine. So was Guardians of the Galaxy 2. But
I had a ton of fun with Spider-Man.
It's sort of like desaturated.
For me, even the bad ones, or the worst ones, not really bad in and of themselves, but the ones that aren't as good are still really fun. So
yeah, that's how I feel about it. I'm like pretty pro Marvel movies. I don't know. I have a lot of fun with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more like I have been liking the Marvel TV shows, except for Iron Fist.
I didn't like Iron Fist either.
Yeah, he was so whiny.
I haven't been catching up on the TV show since Jessica Jones 2 years ago. So
I wasn't a fan of Jessica Jones either, to be honest.
I thought it was all right.
It wasn't my thing. I found her irritating and just not super duper likable. But what about you guys? What are your favorite Marvel movies in that case?
The ones I have the most fun with are definitely Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
I liked the first one a lot. I wasn't a super big fan of the second one. I thought it was kind of meh, but the first one I really liked.
The first one was fantastic. The second one wasn't as good, but it was still kind of fun.
when you say Marvel movies, do you mean the MCU movies, or
I'm talking MCU. I mean, if your favorite Marvel movie is something that's not MCU, then that's cool too. I'm okay. If there's no rule.
My favorite MCU movie is Guardians of the Galaxy. My favorite Marvel movie altogether is Deadpool.
All right, yeah, because that's not part of the MCU, at all. What about everybody
I like
else?
Spider-Man 3.
No, don't lie, people. Lying is not nice.
Female Peter is so captivating.
We all know that's a lie.
Whoa, that dancing. Oh, so fancy.
So what's your favorite then? Since we know it's definitely not that.
Okay. I did actually like from that series, the Spider-Man 1.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I just thought that 3 it went to shit.
I recently watched Spider-Man 1. It is very dated.
It is.
Holy shit! Spider-Man 2 didn't, however. That was still a good movie, even after.
Fantastic. Actually, I got to change my answer. You're right. That was better.
You know, the Spider-Man Homecoming is the first Spider-Man movie that I've watched that I haven't hated.
Really?
Oh.
I was like, finally, a Spider-Man movie I can get behind.
That's weird.
I don't know why. I just don't like any of the other Spider-Man movies. They're not my thing. So that was the first one I actually enjoyed, and that's why I was so excited about it. I was like, a Spider-Man movie I liked. This is the best.
Mm-hmm.
This is great.
I hear you.
So
one of the things that I have noticed about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, though, is you have to kind of disengage it from the comics in your mind. Because if you go into them expecting them to be like the comics, then a good chunk of the time you'll be going, well, they screwed up this about this, and they screwed up that about this, and they screwed up that about this, and it just ruins it for you.
yeah, somebody who doesn't know anything about comics, I don't have that problem.
That's a very bizarre standard to hold to these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, another issue with kind of holding them to that standard too is that, and this is kind of like the same thing when you have a movie adaptation of, say, a book. Part of the problem with that is that usually books and movies don't translate to each other very well because they're two completely different mediums of entertainment.
Yeah, that's one thing that really has me worried with the Ready Player One movie that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
The book for that, oh god, that was a fantastic book. It is ridiculously 80s and 90s nerd trivia throughout.
Gotcha.
And it has a really cool premise. It's the entire book, save for a couple small parts, takes place in a massive video game.
Okay.
That this video game is so massive, it includes every fictional world that you can think of at some point in the universe. And it is so massive, it's taken over the world economy for the most part.
Okay.
I would be disappointed if they didn't have a Horatio Hornblower section.
They definitely would. But the idea is that the guy who created this game becomes fantastically wealthy. And he dies without anyone to leave his money to. He doesn't have a family. He doesn't have real close friends. So in his will and testament, it says that whoever can find 3 Easter eggs in his game inherits everything.
Okay.
And the book follows the first person to solve the first Easter egg.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's
an
also
interesting premise.
because it has sci-fi, it has fantasy, it has the combination of the two, since, like I said, every fictional world is effectively in this massive game. And the way it's set up is there's tech-based worlds, there's magic-based worlds, and then there's combo worlds.
That sounds like it'd be very difficult to, just thinking about it, to translate it into a movie.
That's strange when I think about it. When I say every fictional universe, does that include different versions of the same universe? My one I think of is like Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep universe versus Ridley Scott's Blade Runner universe.
There would be worlds that would be set up to reflect those. So, like I said, there's a whole bunch of different... It's a massive universe that has a whole bunch of different worlds in each section. The different worlds... So for single world fantasies, those take place... Well, those are kind of in the same section of the massive universe in a magic section.
Okay, so no matter how insane it sounds, the Shannara series coexists with the Wheel of Time series, even though they don't mesh to...
Yes. And the really cool thing is that since it's this massive universe, you have to travel between the worlds. So if you take a tech ship out of one of the tech universes and you drive it into a magic section of the universe, your ship shuts down the second it crosses the border, and some friggin' wizard just comes puttering out. And you can hire the wizard to haul your ship to the magic world or haul you back over the barrier to the tech world.
That sounds like it would be very difficult to pull off in movie. Like in book form, it makes sense, but I feel like...
What about series that sort of blur the line between it, like Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Rider series?
There's tech and magic worlds. So if you go from a tech world into a tech and magic world, your tech world stuff continues working. If you go from a magic world into a tech and magic world, your magic continues working.
Right, but
yeah, it's going to be a beast to actually get to work in the movie.
Getting that correct.
Getting nothing but Warner Brothers licenses for this movie. I saw Iron Giant in there. Yeah,
that'd be. It'd be cool if they could actually pull that off.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think actually pulling that off would be pretty rough.
Yeah, which has me really excited and really worried about the movie at the same time.
Yeah, what's it called again?
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. Okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting bunch of concepts right there.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like it has the potential to be an absolute train wreck.
Yeah, it definitely does. It could be an absolute train wreck, or it can be one of the best movies of the year, if not the best movie of the year.
Yeah, for sure. Because, in the right hands, that would be really cool, and it'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
In the wrong hands, it'd just be an absolute freaking mess.
Mm-hmm. Especially the sheer number of different things that show up in that book. Have you heard of Spider-Man?
No.
There was this hilarious and weird Japanese version of Spider-Man called Spider-Man.
Okay.
And he had a mech. That mech is in this book. And it's one crucial part that has to be in the movie effectively.
Oh, the director is Steven Spielberg. That doesn't give me a lot of hope, though. Steven Spielberg is hit and miss.
Yeah. Yeah, that could go a lot of ways. I don't know what way it'll go, but it could go all the ways for sure. Yeah, that could either be really good or an absolute train wreck.
Which is basically Steven Spielberg's philosophy.
Yeah, that's pretty much Steven Spielberg in a nutshell, especially recently. Like, it could be great or it could absolutely suck. Who knows?
Either way, it'll be memorable.
Yeah, it'll be one of the two. One of the two. Did you guys see the new Blade? I haven't seen it, but did you guys see the Blade Runner remake?
Yes, I did. It's not a remake. It's a sequel.
Right. Sorry. Excuse me. What did you think?
I thought it was pretty damn good.
Oh, well, that's good. I know a lot of people were quite worried about it. A lot of people were thinking it was gonna be terrible.
It sort of kept the spirit of the old 1982 movie, where it's slow and you have to, take in the world at your own pace, that sort of thing. Not too many action scenes, which is actually a good thing for this movie.
Right.
Since it's more of a concept. It actually introduces new questions to the universe rather than rehashing the old concept from the old one.
Right.
And it pretty much keeps things as vague as possible.
Which I know it's something that Scribe specifically was worried about.
You don't get the answer whether or not Deckard is a replicant or not.
Okay, I don't know what that means. That's just, but I assume it's something important.
The Blade Runner, even though the book Rick Deckard is 100% human, the movie Blade Runner sort of plays around with the idea that he may actually be a replicant, which is their version of the androids, with some hints like how he has a memory of a unicorn that only he knows, and yet the guy who does the origami has makes a unicorn for him, indicating that he may know his memories, sort of thing.
Okay.
The questions raised in Blade Runner, and it doesn't really. It still is vague in this movie as well, whether or not he is one. I prefer him to be a human, like in the book, but that's just me.
Question is there any of us replicants?
Yeah, SGA is a replica, I think.
Well, as I said in the Minions of the Zoo stream, I'm perfectly fine augmenting.
No. It would be too expensive for me to do something like that, I think.
No, I'm definitely a that's all me.
Well, you can't be a very good one, otherwise you wouldn't know that you were one.
Well,
In the book, Do Dream of Electric Sheep, Rick, many people are human. It's just that Philip K. Dick raises the question whether or not we pretty much live the lives. Whether or not
we live the lives of androids?
Ordinary human beings. Where we the universe is set like alter our emotions through a device that actually picks out the emotion that you can have. Like, you want to feel indignant, you get that emotion. You punch it in the machine, and you get that. If you want to feel happy, you punch that in to the machine, and you get that. You know, things like that.
Oh, so
And
it's kind of like a cool play on the Chinese room versus the Turing test.
yeah, right.
Nice.
Right. I'm confused, but that's okay.
Yeah, Philip K. Dick sort of does that to you.
That was a lot, and I don't know what half of it meant. But that's all right. Fuck, I forgot what I was. I keep forgetting like what I'm gonna say.
What happens?
I'm sorry, like my brain just gave out. I don't know why. But shit. Were there any games that you guys are excited about coming out? I don't.
I pre-ordered Super Mario Odyssey. I'll get that on Sunday.
Oh, is there a new Mario game coming out? Oh, he's on the
It
Switch.
just came out today. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Super Mario Odyssey.
I haven't heard anything
Well, yeah.
about it.
That's weird, considering that you're a Switch owner.
No, I don't have a Switch. I've got a Wii U. I don't have a Switch though.
You know Nintendo, at least.
Yeah, I
It's
do.
like, Super Mario Odyssey is hard to ignore.
I genuinely haven't seen anything about it. Is it like Super Mario Galaxy, or is it like different?
Well, it's more open. It's more open-ended than Super Mario Galaxy. It's more like the 64 in Sunshine.
Okay.
Yeah. They finally decided to go with a full 3D Mario game instead of those 2D 3D ones.
Like Super Mario World. I liked Super Mario World. Okay.
3D World.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
I'll take that as a no. It's okay. It's allowed to be a no.
I am spoiled with the Galaxy games.
I haven't played the Galaxy games all the way through, actually, so I've really only briefly played them, and I know that I found the Wiimote controls incredibly frustrating, and I was ready to smack somebody.
Yeah,
I was like, this is crap. I'm upset with the Wiimote. I wasn't a fan.
At least the only thing you do is do shake for the spin attack. That's about it.
Well, motion controls, I'm just not. I'm talentless when it comes to that kind of stuff. But what about everybody? Sweeper, I know you don't really play video games.
True.
What about the rest of you guys? Any video games? I mean, Destiny 2 just launched for the PC. I don't know if anybody cares about that, but I guess I do.
Yeah, most of the games that I was looking forward to coming out this year have either just come out or came out a little bit ago. So I have a lot of games I need to buy.
What games were you looking forward to coming out then?
I was looking forward to XCOM 2, which came out earlier this year. Wolfenstein 2, New Order, which, yes, that's going to... Or New Colossus, sorry. The New Colossus, which I'm going to have a lot of fun playing. Then... I don't know why I'm blanking on all the games that I was thinking of. Let me quickly look. I will be right.
Okay. Sweeper Steven, what do you have to be excited about then? Since you're not nerding out with everybody.
Nothing really.
Nothing? Come on, there's got to be something.
No, not really. I'm always
Not
just-
even like cake? Everybody likes cake. What's
What?
everybody's favorite flavor of cake? I like strawberry.
Irish car bomb.
nice.
Chocolate diabetes.
That's not a cake. That's a
How
shot.
about
Irish car bomb is a cake. What you do is you make a Guinness chocolate cake with a whiskey ganache and then Bailey's Irish cream frosting. And it's amazing.
well, if you just make stuff up, anything's a cake.
Like, that's not... I know things
Yeah.
about cake, and I know what an Irish car bomb is. So Fane made me take one when we were at Dragon Con, which is probably the only reason why I know about them, because I worked in a bar, but nobody ever ordered one of those. That never came up.
Oh, they're delicious.
Yeah, I had an Irish car bomb.
They're
Hey,
delicious, but
Sweeper.
you have to drink them quick.
What about Halloween? You excited about that?
How can you? If you say no, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry if you say no. Don't do it, Sweeper. Don't do it.
No, I like it because the horror movies get to be played on TV. Other than that, it's whatever because I'm always working. So
Well, I mean, as long as you don't say no, my heart's not broken. That's okay. I hope everybody's excited about Halloween. Halloween's the best thing ever.
Has everybody got their racially sensitive costumes picked out?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I am basically stranded in Reno. I have nobody. All family moved, to other places like Washington and Arkansas. And friends, they all went as well. I'm basically all by myself.
That's a very esoteric costume.
Okay. You know what? Last year, everyone thinks I am joking. Last year, I dressed up as Jim Sterling.
That's
I'm
interesting.
I besides being like 150 pounds lighter than him, I pretty much look like him.
I was just about to ask, how many fat suits did you wear?
Probably all of them, I guess.
Or did you just get one of those sumo inflatable things?
I did the suit, the red tie, the fedora, the red sunglasses, which were I got $150 for those.
Ah.
Yeah. I once dressed up as a juggalo as well.
nice. Whoop whoop.
Magnets, how do they work?
Give me that science. No, you're sanguine. Sanguine, you have to get out. You're going to give us science. We don't need that.
But I'm not lying to you. Unfortunately, I'm going to be working this weekend, so I don't get to really celebrate.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I was excited about the costume I had picked out.
And what's that?
I found this costume. I was going to be a bat, and I thought I looked great in the bat costume. But then this monkey jumped out of nowhere, started beating me with a child's toy, and tossed me out the window.
How fucking dare he? What a piece of shit! I can't believe that.
I think it was racist.
You should sue the shit out of that fucking monkey.
Has your back healed up from that?
Piece of shit monkey.
I don't know if I'll ever fly again.
Ah.
I mean, because I think I know what you're talking about, and I think I heard that he severed your spine.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
You could get some mad disability checks out of that shit if that's what actually happened. I'm so sorry to hear that. A fucking piece of shit monkey, that is. Fuck that monkey.
At least he's set for a costume now.
Be monkey's injured bat. I might, you know what, now that I think about it, I wasn't going to do anything, but I might do that and just show up on Tuesday as monkey's poor injured bat friend with a severed spine. I might do that. That's actually a good idea because I don't think he'll watch this, so he doesn't know. So if I do that, everybody in chat, don't tell him, or I will be quite cross with you.
But
And you guys aren't allowed to tell him either. But you know what? I actually fucking love that idea.
wait, isn't that Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, I thought you said Monday. Right.
No, I'll show up on Tuesday.
Well, good, because I tend to not come to streams on Monday.
Okay. Yeah, it's on Tuesday. So
Alright.
Well, that'll definitely
Cool.
be a good one.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll show up on Tuesday as a bat,
Nice.
and Monkey can deal with seeing what because real life has consequences, people, and
Yeah, you have
Indeed.
to find also a neck brace and a disability check.
and neck brace. And here's my disability check because you severed my spine, you piece of shit. Dare you? You've abused a woman, and I'm really upset about it. That's. I think everybody would find that quite entertaining.
When will the monkey on bat violence stop? When?
That's a good question. I don't know. And I think these are the questions that we should be asking, because you're right. When will the monkey on bat violence come to an end?
Indeed.
When is enough enough?
Indeed.
Yeah, it's current year already.
I agree.
Yeah, it's 2017. We should be dressing up as minstrel show performers.
Let me look this up right. Bat
Oh God.
costume. What do I need to become a fucking bat?
And I
These are
just
weird.
misheard you, Zenith, and that put a terrifying picture in my head. Rather than
No, I bet.
minstrel show, I pictured a menstrual show performer.
Isn't that? I mean, that always takes me a minute every time I hear it. I'm like, a menstrual what? And then I'm like, oh, okay, right. That's not what you meant. It always takes me a minute. I'm always like, wait, what? Then I'm like, oh, okay, I got you. I feel you. I'm with you now. It's fine. Everything's fine. I was
Indeed.
just really confused for a second there. And highly alarmed. That's all. No big whoops. No big whoop.
I bet.
What's everybody's favorite holiday? Mine is Halloween because I freaking love Halloween. But what about everybody else? How are you guys feeling about holidays? Let's start with Zenith this time. Go back the other direction.
I guess Christmas. Well, it's an easy one.
That sounds so sad about it. Christmas is fun. I love Christmas as well.
I live alone. I don't have anybody to, celebrate a holiday with. If I want to, celebrate, I have to get a plane ticket to
Right.
and go see it. That's it.
He's really committing to that costume.
Indeed.
What about you guys? TK?
I like what Mother Nature said here in chat. Bat lives matter.
Yeah, bat lives do matter. You know what? I'll wear like a thing that says "Bat Lives Matter" across my chest, and with like bat wings and little ears and shit. Nobody tell him. Nobody's allowed to know about this. But I'm doing it. Like, you guys think I'm kidding. I'm not.
Oh, I hope you're not. I want to see the stream.
I think this is a good idea. I think this is the best idea I've ever had. So, yeah, we're going with it.
Indeed.
TK, did you answer? I don't think you did.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. What was the question there? I was distracted.
Favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday? That's a tough one. Christmas, I think.
You think? Unsure about that?
Yeah,
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I like Christmas.
Okay.
People are always cheerful around that time. I'm Canadian, so that's true. We're a cheerful lot around Christmas or any time, really.
Sweeper? What about you?
I'd have to say like Halloween, I guess, because I'm always working. So on holidays, so I have to say Halloween, I guess.
Yeah, Halloween's pretty fun. Sanguine.
I'd have to go for a tie of Halloween and Christmas. Depends on if I'm able to get the time off to celebrate them.
Right, I can see why that might be a factor.
Back when I was a teenager, my parents would go to work. I was always the one stuck at house handing out the candy.
Mm-hmm.
And my little brother just went out. So yeah, that's how I feel about Halloween.
So, question: when you guys did Halloween, did you make your own costume?
Fuck no.
Just go for store bought?
No, we went to the store.
Ah,
We always went store bought.
Well, for Juggalo and Jim Sterling, I made it out of scratch.
I mean, I'll be making my bat costume for sure.
Nice.
No, I'm doing this. That is like the best idea anybody's ever had, and I think Monkey's gonna think it's hilarious. And I know he won't watch this, so he won't know about it either, which is even better. And nobody tell him.
Perfect.
If you tell him, I'll be upset.
Indeed.
see, I was typically in the camp of I would come up with something weird to be, and then I'd have to make it. Which led to things like I had to make a 6-foot-tall papier-mâché menhir one year. Because I was being a character that carried menhirs.
It sounds like a bit of a mess, honestly. Not gonna lie.
It was fun. And I hollowed it out and stuck my bag inside of it. So when I got candy, I just set down my menhir, dump the candy into the menhir, pick the menhir back up, continue on.
Right.
But yeah, that thing was enormous.
Nice.
My costumes tended to be really simple things. Like, I went as the Grim Reaper, so I just wore a black cloak and bought a plastic scythe, you know?
For me, when I was like 8.
I was a cat a bunch of years because when I was little, I was obsessed with cats. And I would fucking meow at people. I was like, I'm a fucking cat, bite me. So I was a cat a lot of the time.
Glad you didn't get farther than that.
No, I grew out of it when it was appropriate to grow out of that, but I
would
was
have gone down a rabbit hole.
So no fursuit hidden in your closet or anything like that?
Sorry, what?
So no fursuit hidden in your closet or anything like that?
No. That stopped when I hit about 6. Then I was like, oh, I guess I'm not a fucking cat. Okay. But you know, I think I took it well.
But SDA, if you revive that, then you can be an otherkin, and then you're on the oppression stack.
No, we don't need that. That won't be necessary.
Nice.
Well,
nice.
She's already a bat. Does she have to be a bat cat?
Yes. Because then she's a cross-species hybrid, which everyone knows is the most oppressed of the otherkins.
They do get a lot of oppression points.
This is making me a little uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie. It's just very... That's a lot. Oh no. How I feel about that. That's just a lot.
I bet.
Remember, meow means meow.
But yeah, so it is just about 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to go get ready for our nightly stream here in a second, which will be all the fun, and I assume that I will see most of you, if not all of you, over there.
Yep.
But thank you guys so much for dropping by. I am going to be super busy in these next 2 months, so we will figure out precisely when we're doing these hangouts. The November hangout will probably be very early in November.
Okay.
Because I will be out of town in late November. Same thing with the December one. We're looking at early December, probably, just for simplicity's sake.
All right.
Because of my schedule. So just to give you guys a bit of a heads up, but I will definitely be keeping you guys up to date via Patreon messages. So thank you guys so much for coming. Chat, thank you for staying with us, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Good. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.